Hi, it's JK and Kim in the van. If you're over 60 and ever wondered about van life, this video is for you. We've had a lot of viewers ask us some kind of basic van life questions, and first and foremost, why a van? Why a Ford Transit? How do you find places to stay? Why aren't you full-time? How do you afford van life? And probably one of the biggest questions is,
how did we end up doing this in the first place?
We've owned a lot of rigs over the years. We've had a travel trailer, we had a Class C, we had a Class A, and now the van. And every one of those rigs changed how we traveled.
So today we're going to take you through how we got here, why we chose the van, what we've changed along the way, and what we've learned about doing this van life after 60.
And just to be clear, we're not van life experts. There is not one right way to do van life. We're just going to share our story and how we do van life.
Yep.
You ready?
Let's do it. Well, before we start talking about our van, I think we need to go back to the beginning.
Because our travel has changed with every rig we've owned.
And by this point, we've learned a lot about how we like to travel and how we want to travel. Our first RV was a small travel trailer, a single axle, and honestly, we weren't really traveling all over the country at that point.
We had a campground membership about 3 hours from home. We'd take the trailer there, enjoy the campground for a weekend, and then when we weren't using it, it sat in our driveway. It was RVing, but it really wasn't the kind of traveling we do today. And we had bunk beds that were in there that worked really well for the dogs. We didn't use them as beds, the space became their kennel. But
let me just say that me and hauling a trailer and backing a trailer just don't get along.
Then we sold the travel trailer and moved to a Class C, and that started changing the way we traveled. We had more flexibility and more usable floor space, and with dogs, that mattered. At that point, we had 2 dogs, both over 60 pounds, so yes, space mattered. But our bed was on a slide, and it was hard for us to stop and overnight at a Walmart or a rest stop without pulling out the slides.
And we all know that's a big no-no when you're camping for free in a parking lot.
And you didn't like driving that one either.
That was a big monster.
The suspension wasn't great. We just didn't feel comfortable in that one. There was a lot of negatives. So
we traded that one in and bought a small Class A RV.
This was our van life for big people van. It was the same layout as a lot of vans that we had researched, and we really enjoyed the layout. We really started venturing west. We took it all the way out to California. It taught us something important. We love seeing the West. We love traveling in a rig. We just didn't love taking that big Class A everywhere we wanted to go.
Yeah, like mountain roads, the smaller trails made us realize that bigger wasn't necessarily better for the way we wanted to travel. And that became one of the things that eventually pushed us towards a van.
Remember that time going down I-70 in that Class A?
Thought we were going to die. Yeah, that wasn't a happy experience. I'm still having PTSD from it.
PTSD would be the words.
That's it.
We wanted something smaller, we wanted something we could maneuver easily, and something that we could park easily.
And we didn't want to have a rig that was just going to sit in storage or in the driveway unused 6 months out of the year.
We wanted a rig we could actually use year-round.
Well, once we decided on a van, we had another decision.
Which van?
We looked at different chassis, including gas and diesel, all the different brands. We even got into a few RV vans. For us, it just seemed like the Ford Transit made a lot of sense for a number of reasons.
Primarily, the biggest reason was you.
Yeah. I could wear a 10-gallon cowboy hat. So the Transit, especially the high roof version that we have, has way over 6 foot tall ceilings in it.
Yeah, I think the bare shell is 6'7" high. And so you add a ceiling on there. We don't know what ours is because we bought ours already self-converted. But you still have plenty of room, even underneath the air conditioner.
And with the new platform that we built in there, which is built on a 5.5-inch tall framing, I still can get in there with some headroom.
So the height issue of JK narrowed our decisions pretty quickly. We got into the Rams, the ProMasters, we got into the Mercedes-Benz. So our options narrowed pretty quickly. We couldn't afford a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. We couldn't really fit into the ProMaster. Between the cab and the beds, it didn't work. And a lot of the beds in the manufactured ones were not long enough.
Nope. Or wide enough.
Or wide enough. So it's not the perfect van, but it's the best one we could find for us. We also knew one thing right away. We did not want to build a van from scratch.
Admittedly, there are some amazing DIY builds out there, but we knew that wasn't something we wanted to take on. So instead, we started looking for a van that already had a DIY conversion in it.
Found it on Marketplace one night, deep in the depths of Marketplace and all the vans, and there it was, our 2019 Ford Transit.
We bought it in 2021, and it had already been owned by 2 people at that point.
It had a lot of things that we liked. It was finished, and we knew that we could move things around and make it our own.
Thanks to the L-Track system that the previous owner installed, it made moving components around a lot easier and a lot simpler.
It started off as a motocross van, so both previous owners were traveling with their motocross bikes.
So we had to convert their vision into our vision. Again, the L-Track system allowed us to do that relatively easily.
4 remodels later, we're starting to dial in our van.
Or are we? Ready for some coffee?
Had some good coffee.
That's some good coffee. You know what would make this better?
What?
Cookies.
Cookies. Here you go.
Cookies. Homemade peanut butter chunk with chocolate chips. So, we have something very important to talk to you about.
The cost of vans. It can range anywhere from under $10,000 for an old van, or if you want something fancy and high end, you're going to spend over $200,000.
Well over 200. And we spent just a little bit over $70,000 for a partially built out interior van that was in perfect condition with pretty low miles. But it wasn't without a sacrifice.
You had to sell your Jeep.
I had to sell my Jeep. But the lucky thing was, during that time, dealers were just clamoring for any used vehicle they would buy from you because there was kind of a shortage on their used lots. So it was to our advantage, really, at that time to sell.
And you sold it back to the dealer.
Right. We sold it back to the dealer that we bought it from a few years before. And then we took that money and it helped go towards buying this van. We always looked at it as a sacrifice.
It's a trade-off.
Oh, we looked at it as a trade-off.
There's always a sacrifice.
You give up something to get something else. In our case, it was the van.
We were willing to sacrifice some space and some conveniences so that we could travel the way we wanted to. There's another thing that works for us financially. The van is JK's daily driver, so we're not paying for RV storage like we did with past rigs. With the van, it's out in the elements and it's JK's daily driver.
And believe me, the van gets driven even when we're not traveling the United States. And when winter comes, the only winterization we do in the van is shut down the battery bank and get all the water out of here. We don't have to winterize like you would with a regular RV. Knowing that from owning RVs in the past, we designed our water system in this van to be quite simple. All we have to do is take out a couple jugs of water, store them in a heated garage, and that's pretty much our winterization routine.
Of course, we can't talk about our van without talking about the dogs.
And in this case, Tia, who's the queen of our van. The trailers actually gave the dogs quite a bit of room. The Class C and the Class A had more floor space, of course, and our van is definitely more cramped, although when redesigning it, we tried to allow for as much open floor space as we possibly could.
We went from 2 dogs to 1 dog. We lost our dear Willow last year in 2025, but now we just have Tia, and she has a couple of spots that are hers, and she knows exactly where to go.
And there's no question that 1 dog is a lot easier than 2. We've learned that the hard way. We traveled with our 2 dogs who were both over 60 pounds, and when you do that in a 20-foot van,
You do a lot of twister.
but we made it work, and honestly, the dogs have always been a part of our travels in the van.
One thing we've learned is that we don't need to have everything figured out before we start. We tend to live with what we have and see what we actually need. Our air conditioning is a perfect example. That was a major upgrade because we needed to upgrade our electrical system to support it. And honestly, the dogs were a big reason we did it. We tried lower cost options first. They didn't cut it.
So we eventually decided on a proper rooftop AC. That was what we needed to keep everybody cool. And the same idea with the heater. A year later, we installed the nice German gasoline-fired heater. That's made things much more comfortable in the colder temperature shoulder season that we love traveling.
Same idea. We tried other options, but eventually we needed something that actually worked. And then there are the smaller things, like our side ladder. We lived without it for a long time until
we had the big AC shroud experience, and we had no way of getting up onto the roof to check for damage.
Eventually, with that episode, we realized it would make things easier, so we added it. That's really our philosophy. We don't try to build the most luxurious van possible. We try to live with what we have. We figure out what we actually need, and then as we can afford it or as the need warrants, we make the upgrade.
Well, the one thing that we don't have that we kind of wish we had is either like all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive for the van.
We don't have either.
Nope, and it's just so cost prohibitive to try to retrofit the van with an all-new four-wheel drive system that it's just not worth it.
So we work with what we have. We look at the roads, scope them out, see if we can handle it or not with our rear two-wheel drive vehicle, and we just live with it.
We've done a couple things that help with going on trails. Is the new suspension, which has a little bit higher lift, so we're a little bit higher off the ground, which kind of gives us more ground clearance so we can take on a little bit rougher trail or road. One thing that we do know and that we've learned is, well, it's common sense. You don't go into a situation that you know you're going to get stuck or can't get out of. So we've been practicing that. We discern the road, we check maps, we look at satellite views on our phones, and I mean, it's just common sense not to get yourself too deep where you're going to get stuck or can't get out.
The van isn't perfect, but we've learned to travel with what we have.
Yep.
We stay in a mixture of a whole bunch of different places, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Parking lots, campgrounds, Walmart, Cracker Barrel. We've done a couple of boondocking spots in the last couple of trips.
That was fun.
So it just depends where we are and what's available.
So, Kim, you're the navigator. How do we find these places?
Well, I have a plethora of apps on my phone, and I cross-reference all of them as you're driving.
Yeah.
So iOverlander, I use RV Parky, which is kind of old information, but it has a lot of great information still. And you can't refuse Google. Google is a great resource as well. There are so many out there. There's the rec one, there's the state park ones for every state, there's the national park one. I mean, they go on and how many apps you can download. Some require payment. We don't pay for any of them.
You don't really have to, I don't think.
We do have a membership for Harvest Host, and there's a map in there with all the available locations, but it does cost a little bit for that. We don't use that one to its fullest extent, and we should probably use that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So when I cross-reference, I'm not looking at just the pictures that are loaded. That's helpful, but I'm also looking at reviews. I'm looking at the noise level, cell reception, how far you are away from amenities, you know, how busy it is, if you're in a city or not. Just the safety feeling of a lot of the places. So I'm trying to read and discern all of those things as we're driving and just going crazy on research. Some people have asked us, do you use campgrounds? Occasionally, usually for a shower. We don't need the full hookups. We don't need the hookups for water. We don't need the hookups for electricity. So it's really about a shower and feeling safe. If we don't feel safe at a free spot, that's when we do a campground. Or if it's winter and we can't find anywhere that's good for winter time, there are some winter campgrounds that are good for us.
Sometimes it's a free spot, sometimes it's a parking lot. It really doesn't matter. We're not like trying to find YouTube or Instagram worthy locations all the time.
Every once in a while, it's fun though.
Yes. So, do we ever get refused at campgrounds?
Once.
Yeah, they saw me driving and they said, out of there, buddy.
Well, it happened in Southern California, right on the beachy areas where there are all these high-end RV resorts.
Sure.
And we are not an RV resort kind of rig.
No.
So they were really looking for a manufactured kind of van. And some campgrounds don't even want vans. They just want the big RV pull-through ones. So The best thing you can do is check their website, call ahead, and that's really just a good rule of thumb anyway. We call ahead for everything. We call ahead for Walmarts, Cracker Barrels, even state parks and things. If we can get into those, we ask questions of the camp host. We are double checking all of our things so that we are not going to get the knock at 3 a.m.
Right. So all that to say, we don't want to assume that we're entitled to stay at different places.
I think that's the biggest mistake some van lifers have made. They assume that they can just park anywhere without checking into things, and then they get the knock. And I think that that is just a simple common sense thing to check ahead and do your due diligence and research.
Yeah, all it takes is a phone call or
Simple.
park and walk in and ask the manager or whoever's on duty, can we park overnight here, and where do you want us to be?
It's a privilege to park, especially in those free spots. Go into those businesses, buy something from them, buy gas from the truck stops that you stay at.
Get pancakes from Cracker Barrel.
Yep. So, do that kind of thing and you'll be fine finding a place. There's lots of places you can go.
Yeah, just check the attitude at the door and be thankful.
Some people have asked us, are we planning on going full time now that we're getting closer to full retirement? And the simple answer is,
we just like coming home. We like having our home base to come to, get to spread out, get to wash clothes in our own washing machine, get to spend some time in our own bed with our own sheets. Not that the van isn't our own beds and own sheets, but you know what we're talking about. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to come to your own bedroom and get a good night's sleep after being on the road for so long.
Will we ever go full time? Maybe. We'll never rule it out completely. But right now, our place is on the road a little bit, see some cool stuff, and then be with family too. So sometimes part-time is like you get to do what you want to do without giving up everything.
It's like the best of both worlds. The big question we get a lot is, how do we stay active? Well, this one's actually pretty simple.
We walk. We walk TIA, we explore towns, we walk around campgrounds, we get outside. We don't have some elaborate fitness program, and we're by no means poster children for being fit. But we are motivated by scenic lookouts and lighthouses. We'll walk quite a ways to get to one of those. A lot of staying active on the road is simply getting out of the van instead of staying inside it all day. Some people will have a formal gym membership. Some will stop at a city community center and get a workout in. Others will take long bike rides, and still others will do a big long hike up a mountain.
We do have some slight mobility challenges, which limits some of the activities that we can do comfortably.
That's hurting my heart.
So we do what we can, depending on how our bodies are feeling that particular day. So, after all the rigs we've owned, all the changes we've made to this van, and all the miles we've put on, what have we learned?
Probably that there's no perfect rig. There's no perfect RV. There's no perfect van. And there's no one right way to do van life. It's about adapting on the road. We learned what matters to us. We've learned to make some compromises. And yes, we've made some mistakes along the way.
And we're still learning.
So if you're sitting at home watching this video and you're over 60 thinking about van life, know one thing. You don't have to have it all figured out from day one.
And to get into van life, you don't have to spend $200,000.
You don't have to sell everything.
It helps.
You don't have to go full time.
No, you can go part-time or just be a weekend warrior. You just have to figure out what works for you.
Because this
is our van life. If you're thinking about van life after 60 and you have questions we didn't answer, please leave them in the comments.
And if you're already traveling in a van, we'd love to know what you've been learning along the way too. Thanks for coming along with us. And remember, any day in the van is a good day.